So that's it.
So you got the tech guy.
We validated the tech guy. Now, the next challenge is to raise money, because you need to have some money. We didn't go crazy, but we need to have some money to subsidize the technology a little bit, servers, and the the guys need to be some little bit money to live. It's not like the basic. We also didn't draw money in the beginning. I myself and Ilya, but we needed later on, and the other guys, we need to hire people to work. So we went to Kima Ventures. It's a small angel, or like micro VC. Ilya, our CEO, had a connection with them. And they saw that we have validated the market. They saw a validated technology. So for them was a deal closed, basically. So easy, $150,000. Within a few days, we got the approval, and like after a few weeks, we saw the money in the bank.
Wow.
And in 2012, we incorporated.
Wow.
In January 2012.
So before this, you weren't even incorporated?
No, we just validated.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. If the first validation didn't go through, we drop it and go to the next.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend our lives to build something that nobody wants.
100%. Agreed.
So that's the main thing. So unfortunately, I see around me lots of startups that have an idea. Straight away went to a VC, got lots of money, got lots of people hiring, nice offices and stuff. And then after a year, the money closed down, no customers. They find out just that nobody wants the product, and they shut down.
Yeah.
So this reverse lean startup. That's
Agreed.
Yeah. So so the next, what was the challenge? So the money is validated, and we got the money in the bank. So we validated this technology and validated that actually we can get funding.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's ticked.
Yeah.
The fourth pillar is the operation/business guide. Or it's how our CEO call it, rainmaker.
Rainmaker.
And basically, this is me.
Yeah.
And I was putting everybody together and set up the company and set up all the operations and the offices and the infrastructure, whatever it needs to facilitating the whole operation and managing the business. And basically that's a very important part of it, because if you don't put together enough founded people, HR is part of it, because we have 4 people, we started validate.
Yeah.
And now the next thing is validate the product actually is usable. So we created within 2 months, we build a product, very, very basic product, as you call it, MVP, minimum viable product.
So this is after the prototype. So you had the prototype that you built in 2 weeks.
Exactly, it's very, very basic.
Right.
It's like you can't use it, but
you used that prototype to go to the investors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And by that time, was anybody actually using the service?
No.
You just had the subscribers, you had the prototypes,
Exactly.
you showed them how it looked like.
Yeah.
And then you got here, you put all the stuff together in 2 months.
Exactly.
Right.
So this is now the real story starts. That is like the exciting thing started, because this is infrastructure. It's like you're building things, you validate, and okay, what's now? How you get this million? People asking, well, how you get this $1 million? Okay, so that's the next thing. So we validated that, and obviously everything you do as MVP, you use this Pareto law, 20-80. You do 20% of what you need to reach 80% of the results.
Okay,
it's very important, because once you do the 80%, 80-20, you lose it, and you need time is really crucial. So we did the 20% that's the minimum viable product. Build a product that does what you need to do. Don't create lots of features. Do the minimum you need to have.
Yeah.
So we created an alpha version. And while we created the alpha version, we have a list of 500 people, and it's growing a little bit, because organically it's growing.
Yeah.
Not very quickly, very fast, like hundreds and hundreds within that month.
Yeah.
So we send an email to them and say, look guys, now we're allowing for 200 people to become alpha testers. But you have to become a tester, you need to have the criteria, specific criteria. And now there are also websites like landing pages that allows you to count how many people you share and everything. As this is usual.
Like the contest.
Exactly. So you said, okay, first of all, you need to use PowToon. Secondly, you need to have to find an hour to speak to us. And third, you need to share PowToon for your network. So obviously, you know what's happened. Scarcity. What makes buzz? Everybody was sharing. Yeah, guys, I want to get it. We got lots of emails. Guys, please let me in. I don't have many people, but please, I want. And people actually these are early adopters. They're followers, they're pushers. They want it. They want. So that's very important to get it. So we got these people. We got an alpha. We got them on board to use the product
for free. Were they using it for free?
Of course, for free. Because we want to learn. One thing that's very important, you need to build a product that the user is going to use. Because you can build something that no one going to. So we build and we consulted with them. This is basically your consultants. And they say to us, give us lots of feedback, which we actually improve the product, make it usable.
Nice.
And that's it. And then it's the first stage. Okay, it's usable. Now what we do? Now we need to prove. We wanted to make the third challenge is to make to bring lots of new users. So what we did, we worked on a beta. After 2 months, we have alpha. On the 4th month, we went out with closed beta.
Wow!
And to launch this closed beta, we had to create a big launch, obviously. So we went to TechCrunch and we got the article. Been written about the article, the amazing new tool, making videos, and whoever wants now only TechCrunch readers can get to only the first 500 readers to sign up, become a free beta testers.
Wow.
So that's, imagine within a few days you get 30,000 signups.
Wow.
30,000 signups.
Wow.
That's basically within a few days.
And by that time, like this is 2012, right?
Yeah.
And by that time, TechCrunch is basically the biggest thing out there.
Yeah.
It's still huge.
TechCrunch and Mashable.
And Mashable, right? And Ink and all those.
Yeah.
But those were what few publications. Now we have like a lot, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's blogging about
exactly.
But TechCrunch back then was humongous.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why we got, obviously we found out which one the publication is bigger, and the most important, find a publication that your target audience are sitting there, and where you have especially the early adapters. Yeah. So we knew the tech guys sitting there in TechCrunch.
So you put it in, you got about 30,000.
Yeah, 30,000. Only 500 as access, right?
Wow.
They sign up, but 500 we get access.
Wow.
So that is amazing. We couldn't believe ourselves. Yeah, that's kind of wow, it's a buzz, big buzz.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then we started that kind of seeing the people using the creative PowToons, the creative videos.
Yeah.
And that was exciting when you see the first video creating and it's more creative than you ever can create it.
Yeah.
That's okay. That is success.
That's amazing.
Okay. That's validation.
So all those 500 people now are on your site making actual animation.
Yeah, animation. The first time.
Wow.
So that's another challenge that we followed and we managed to bring. And obviously, the more people when you create a product, it's very important to plan some viral elements. With video, it's very easy because you can put your logo there. Yeah. But whatever product you do, try to put your logo. Try to set up something that creates viral, so you can send to other people, and you can view. So what we saw that people that publish on YouTube, our videos can publish on YouTube. People view them, and we get a return. People go into a website, so it's viral. This is today, thanks to this kind of methodology, we've got 95% of our traffic is viral.
Wow.
Like
we have organic.
Yeah, we've got around 4 million user entrants every month.
Wow.
And 95
4 million hits every month.
4 million hits, yeah.
Wow.
And out of them is around 5% is only sponsored.
Wow.
So that is really important. This is another element you need to add to your business.
That's amazing.
So going back, now we validated the market. Now what you need to do is that
Actually, business, right?
people can actually pay. It's money, you know. And then you ask him, okay, guys, is talking. Where is the money? Show me the money.
I was so into the story, I forgot all about the money.
Exactly. So this is it. And now, mind you, we're running business 4 months already. The money running out. You know, we get some little bit kind of. So now we need to set up. We didn't have a pricing page yet. So we need to set up the pricing page. We need to validate that actually people want to pay for the product.
Oh wow!
So
by this time you still didn't do that.
No, we didn't do that.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we get this 500 free people. They use it. They happily use it. They created lots of viral effect. But now we want to actually we need to pay for bills. Yeah. Come on, it's enough.
I got kids.
And exactly. And if you don't validate this part, you better close the business. You know, because that's it. I mean, there are businesses today that managing without, like Twitter, or I can say various companies that don't yet make money out of it in the beginning, but they are really, this is the unicorns, right?
Yeah, they're the unicorns, and they're also a different business model than what you're talking about, right?
Exactly. But this was freemium model. I mean, we decided we go for the freemium model for the virality.
Yeah.
So how we did it, how actually you launch a pricing page and you ask for money. This is another challenge, right? Yeah. So what we did, we had already like a few tens thousands of users. Yeah. And we created a 7-day launch sequel, okay, using emails, okay. So it's basically built out of four emails. The first email is basically positioning your product, positioning you as a PowToon or the product in a high end and with a pricing level. Okay?
Yeah, like a premium
service. How we did it? It's because we did the analogy, and the analogy of if you create your animated video with an animator or animation company, it costs you between $3,000 to $15,000, right? Yeah. And if you do it with PowToon, it costs you much less. Yeah. Okay, but no. Before that, we just said, look, the animation is crazy to pay $3,000. This is the first email. Crazy how it can. We didn't mention PowToon. We say like PowToon can allow you, but we didn't mention pricing. Yeah. So this is the first email. You set up the mind, you set up the positioning. Okay?
Inception.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to do it as a process. You can't do it right away. The second email, then you said, okay, you did a survey, and you asked them what's important for them in animation, what important in videos, why they do videos. And then we asked them, can you price how much you would like to pay for this service? But we put multiple choice answers, yeah. And we put the lowest price for one video for about $100. $100, $500, $1,000. You know what I mean? We position and let them answer that. Yeah. So obviously we got all the answers that around $100 per animation video, or per month, or whatever we choose in different kind of questions. Yeah. And this is how we did. I mean, we send them, we get a response, and the fourth email was saying them, okay, guys, you
chose how much we're gonna charge.
How much you said, and you know, this is I like to give this example of the IKEA shop. Yeah. So whenever you go to IKEA, you buy a furniture and you build them yourself. Mm. And you pay like $100 for table, right? Yeah. And then once you come to this guy, can you sell it to $200? So what, you crazy? I built myself. Yeah. So you feel connected to it. Yeah. So that psychology is very important. Nice. And so that's what we use, this analogy. And the next and the last email, fifth email, was, okay guys, you created the pricing page. Now this is going to be the pricing page, but we can give you, because you're early adopters, because you're our fans, and we give you a special one-time offer. Okay, and one-time offer you get 78% discount. 8% discount if you buy the yearly subscription pack.
How much was that?
That was $187
for the year.
For the year,
and you could create as many things as you want.
As many years, yeah.
Wow.
Because
you're just starting. I know.
Exactly.
Wow,
but
crazy.
You see, wow.
I'm thinking.
What did you buy?
For my business, I would buy that 3 times over.
Exactly. So it's exciting, right?
Yes.
So we send this email.
I'm so happy.
And imagine we send this email like within the 7th day, on the 5th, 6th, 7th day, this like one-time offer. And guess how much money we got in 1 week?
How much?
$80,000.
What?
$80,000 in the first week of launching the pricing page, and it was on a 6 months of operation.
Wow!
So that's launched the big thing. Okay, that's brought us the first, and this is how helped us to finance, and then we got already companies coming to us, education that asking for the schools, and you're already selling them already big chunks, big packages.
So you have the business, the corporation model, you have the startup model.
Exactly, and then obviously you can use, and as I say, the variety growing and the pricing working model. You always need to test to do A/B testing with the pricing, and we find out that in the pricing, the lower prices didn't work. The higher prices work better. The more we put higher, the more revenue got and more sales.
Wow.
So this is very, very important to test.
Because people thought it was higher quality if I was paying
exactly. If it's lower, like we tried for $14 for a very basic package, and they didn't buy it. They buy the $100, the $49.
Wow. So
it's very important.
Amazing.
And obviously the product, when you launch the product, I like to use Reid Hoffman.
Reid Hoffman.
Yeah. He said, if you're not embarrassed with the product you launch, you launched it too late.
Yeah.
So don't afraid to launch it. Even the pricing, when we launched the pricing, the product was really bad. In a way, it was buggy and lots of feature was using. We didn't have redo, undo, like basic things that you see everywhere. We didn't have it, but we wanted to validate the pricing. So obviously the product needs to do whatever it needs to do, but the early adopters, the audience are really forgiving.
Yeah.
They're forgiving you for all this stuff and excited about it.
Exactly. Wow.
So that's basically was the fifth challenge that we validated, and we continue like this. Continue now. We are going to the corporate world. Now we're ready. We have some money. We are a profitable company, so we can go easily to the corporate world. We found out that in the corporates we have companies like Facebook, Google, Coca-Cola, Starbucks.
Yeah.
They're all using us internally.
Nice.
To use is like creating attention grabber. For HR, for example, you have an HR department that's responsible for thousands of employees, and if you send them emails, they ignore them. When you send them PowToon, then they happy. I mean, they actually react to that.
Beautiful. So when did you get to the million?
So we get, as I said, after 18 months.
18 months.
Yeah, we tried different pricing models. We ramp up and we kind of grew like 20% month on month. So the first month was like a few $1,000s in revenue and recurring revenue. So it's growing.
Nice.
So that's how we got with 7 million users.
Beautiful.
Which we are today.
7 million users right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how many corporations? About I know you mentioned about 10.
Yeah, we've got 50% of Fortune 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
50% of Fortune 500.
But it's like if you say that this is users within the company.
Internal.
It's not like the whole company. It's not packaged. Now we work on bringing the whole companies because we know that the marketing department needs one, and the HR and the rest of the financial. Everybody needs something within that presentation.
And I know we need to wrap up soon, but what would be the one thing you wouldn't do? again? Like if you were to go back, like you did something and like it failed or like it was bad or whatever.
Okay, so as I said, because we're using best practice, the failure, the error margin for error is really low.
Yeah.
But I didn't come from the HR department, and I was hiring people without really getting a reference, and sometimes you get people like, you know, there's bad apples and bad bananas.
Yeah.
You know the analogy.
Yeah.
Bad apples. You know, you can do it's bad apple, you take it out and you throw it. But you know, in supermarkets, you put bananas separate from everything else. You know, because one bad banana affects all.
Mess up everything.
So that's the thing. We had some bad bananas.
Nice.
So we,
nice.
but not nice. But I wouldn't now. I learned we didn't hire it properly. We didn't do the whole. Kind of thing.
So actually, I hear that a lot. Hiring, especially in the beginning, is really important because you're growing a culture.
Exactly.
And you can mess up that culture really quickly with one wrong person.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes sense. Okay, cool. And so what's the future looking like? I know you're going to go to corporations. You're based out in Tel Aviv now?
Yeah, we're based in Tel Aviv. Our headquarters are in London.
In London.
And we one day probably would like to be in the States as well.
Cool.
I mean, set up here some base.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to have you here.
Yeah, I love New York. That's why I'm coming here every year.
Yeah, you seem like a New Yorker anyway. No, this is awesome. I got completely schooled right now. Like I learned so much. It's insane.
Brilliant. And I've got one. I can give you advice. Very important advice that I said a lot of advice, but set up goals. Set up your goals. Write it down. Whatever you do, I remember like we had a monthly revenue coming like $50,000, $70,000, and it's growing and it's okay. I said, look, let's write it down now. Next month it's gonna be 150,000. We write it down. We share with everybody. Put it on the wall, guys. This is the next target, and it's happened.
Yeah,
it's happened. So you write it down and use a vision board, not only for the target of the goals of your life. Whatever you see yourself, set a vision. And we have actually a vision board in PowToon that a template that you can create your vision board. What house you want to live in, what kind of car you want to drive, and once you put it realistically and you see it in your eyes, it was real images. It's happening. It works.
Wow.
So that's one of the biggest advice I can give anybody. Just see yourself in the next 5 or 10 years. Wake up in the morning and imagine what you see around you and then go back how it works.
Visualize your goals. Visualize where you want to be.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I didn't invent anything. Just learn from the best gurus that we have in the world.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Anything you want to tell them? Check out any updates that you want to tell them? Or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can go. We are now updating our PowToon with the new UI. Going to be a new website soon, and we have a blog with lots of knowledge and how to create an animated presentation, how to present. Many knowledge for your own business, not necessarily about animation, but how to create a script, how to write a script, how to create the best presentation, and so on.
Are you on like Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. So we could check you out there?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's all PowToon, right? It's not something else?
Yeah, exactly. It's powtoon.com. If you see here, like it's the same.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
This is great. Thank you for sitting down with us, and we'll catch you soon. We can't wait till you come to New York.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
And you're welcome to Tel Aviv as well.
Yeah, actually, I want to come to Tel Aviv.
Come, you're gonna be my guest.
I'm coming to Tel Aviv.
Here we go. Listen, he's recorded it.
Can't wait. But thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, is there any way they could follow you on any network or something? If they,
I'm basically on LinkedIn.
Okay.
On LinkedIn, and you can send me an email on Daniel@PowToon.com.
Okay.
Beautiful. Whatever I love helping startups. I'm mentoring myself some startups, and I would love to have you guys on board as well.
Yeah, he's a great mentor, and obviously you learned a lot. You probably just change your life. But thank you guys for joining. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Daniel. And thank you, Raz. Appreciate it. All right. Good to see you guys. Bye.